Live from the Talking Joe Studios, it's Talking Joe.
Talking Joe is on the air.
Hey, welcome to Talking Joe with a Pathe-Tic news update. With me, as always, is Tim. Hello, Tim.
Hello, Mark. Hello, listeners.
So lots of news happening in this week that we'll just split out into a short news episode.
Pathetic.
So first up, it is the big one. It's issue 300, Solicit. In the pages of previews, we're finding out more about the issue. It is a final special overlength issue. It will include special extras, and it's due to ship November 23rd, 2022. So we know it will be oversized with some extras, and it will retail at $6.99 rather than the standard $3.99. So possibly almost double size. Tim?
There are going to be several available covers. There's the Jamie Sullivan cover A with many characters on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Jamie Sullivan cover B, which finishes the connecting cover of all the Cobra characters. Nitho Diaz pops up one last time for cover C, which has Joe's and Cobra's battling it out from the left and the right, and cover C is regular. You can just get that in normal quantities. Cover D, drawn by Kieran McKeown, which is divided in half. Joe heads on the top, facing one way. Cobra heads on the bottom, facing the other way. This is also open to order. You can just order as many or as few as you want. Cover E is the retailer incentive cover, where you gotta get 10 of one of the others to be able to get one of these. This is drawn by John Royal, a hawk standing with some floating heads behind him. Cover F, which is a 1 in 25 incentive cover, and it's by Ron Joseph, making his final appearance. This has Rock and Roll and Snake Eyes, Torpedo, Snow Job, and a Sky Striker in front of the Statue of Liberty and an American flag. And G, cover G, is a 1 in 50, and that is a repeat of cover A with Every Joe and Cobra in sort of an arena watching a fight down on the bottom between Duke and Cobra Commander and a couple other favorite characters. And on the Diamond website, cover A has a very small logo on the top left that says G.I. Joe IDW number 300 with the names, right? Hama, Gallant, Keen, Brown, cover price. It says cover A, Real American Hero. And this 1 in 50 incentive is a virgin cover with no logo treatment.
Cool. Okay, and speaking of which, the Jamie Sullivan cover A is potentially going to be a record-breaking cover. He drew each of the characters individually. It was stitched together to create the overall piece. And he drew, I believe, about 316 characters. So previous Guinness World Record was set by Deadpool issue 27, the wedding cover, which had a record of 224 characters. So this would seem to be a shoe-in to be a record breaker. Jamie has also done a sale on his Facebook for all of the individual characters, and most of those have sold out. The original one was done as a kind of bid with, I believe, a starting price of each piece of $30.
If you, dear listeners, see these covers previewed on the internet in September or October or November before the issue comes out, you may be a little confused because the A and B and C and D covers have a cover price of $3.99. This issue will have a cover price of $6.99. This is one of those cases where the office folks, the production people at a comics publisher are getting images ready ahead of time for solicits for both Diamond Comics distributors and also Penguin Random House. And they are, using the template from the previous issue, changing the issue number by 1, but laying in the logo on the IDW corner box in the same place. And somewhere later, someone, of course, will correct that when the issues go to print. And so the actual issues assuredly will say that they are $6.99, not $3.99.
Mm-hmm.
But sort of the internet is forever. And so anytime after this issue comes out, if you Google G.I. Joe 300, you are just as likely, I think, to see sort of this sort of preview cover JPEG with the incorrect cover price as you are a corrected one or someone having taken a photo or scan of the printed comic. One last little bit. The solicit for issue 300 only mentions S.L. Gallant in terms of credits. It says writer Larry Hama, artist S.L. Gallant. These things can change. So if you've been curious, well, 297 was drawn by 2 people, neither of whom are S.L. Gallant. At the moment of sending information to Diamond and Penguin Random House for the solicits, it is seemingly IDW's intention that the guy who's been drawing most of the issues recently draws the final issue all by himself. The cover, of course, does mention Maria Keene as inker, but again, and I have no reason to doubt that, but that could also be that templating thing where they're using the same logo as some previous issues.
Yeah, the big caveat against that is I think that the latest issue 297 was solicited against S.L. Gallant as the artist, so these things can change. Cool. Remaining in Jamie Sullivan news, he has been selling prints of his connecting covers for G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero 271 to 275, All Hands on Deck, which is the G.I. Joe connecting cover, and 296 to 300, which is the Cobra Command connecting cover. They were 6 feet by 2 feet. So fairly enormous at retailing at $100 each. Unfortunately, at the time you're hearing this, the order window has closed. It closed on Friday. So sorry, but it was interesting to see. I was very tempted, but knew that I would not have the room on my walls to ever display it, which meant that I didn't order it. So we talked about it before. Larry Hama confirming at Farley Con he was going to be writing G.I. Joe Beyond issue 300 and indeed was working on issue 301. There was some disbelief at the time, and until I hear it, officially, I won't believe it. But the Farley Con has posted video coverage of that panel now, so you can go over to YouTube and see for yourself Larry Hama indeed speaking those words, as well as a bit of a Q&A about various other things as well. So go on, check it out. Staying in the world of Larry Hama, his cover to the anniversary special, that recreation of issue 21, has hit Heritage Auction. So you can see the image over on the auction site in high fidelity, and I think the hope is that it will be a classic, considered a modern classic. And given what happened to the original issue 21 cover that sold there at a very noteworthy price, that there's, I guess, some hope that this cover will do well as well. An interesting quirk of the cover is that it was drawn on a kind of an old school Marvel artboard with the Marvel logo, and a little bit of aging already on the board because it was not a brand new page to begin with. And my final bit of news is that Rollout Roll Call, the UK's finest G.I. Joe Action Force convention, has had a date announced against it, 13th of November in Fordingbridge, UK. I will endeavour to be there, and hopefully some of the listeners will too. So hopefully see some of you there. And that is all the news that is not fit to print because we are reading it out. So I think with that short one over, check out the rest of the episodes, as always, over at talkingjoe.co.uk, and I'll see you next time. But remember that...
Nobody Beats Talking Joe, an international podcast!
Thank you, Tim. Laters!